one does see all of a sudden, you start to feel the self-cherishing. And it's really not easy, because very often we think we're quite good people, and then all of a sudden we see how sensitive we are and how quickly we're upset or agitated or whatever. So, how to say, so you have to be careful. Also this, also, you know, if you don't want to have an open heart, if you don't want to be kind to people, if you don't want to develop good people, don't do it. Nobody is forcing you to do anything. We're just introducing that to you, like the whole path. And again, it's pieces of puzzle. So you want to take them up, you take them up. If not, even at the time of the Buddha, like these two vehicles were practiced. The self-liberation vehicle for your own happiness, and then for the happiness of all sentient beings. Most of the people practice the lower vehicle, Hinayana. Still today now, it's much easier. It's much easier. Then less people practiced Mahayana, like going for enlightenment. Even less people practice Tantrayana, because that is so subtle and it's so difficult to understand. We'll come to that tomorrow, because it also includes it. What is Tantrayana? It also includes it with in the text. So Tantrayana is like more religious practices. So in Tibetan Buddhism, all this is a package, but you can pull out of it whatever you want to pull out, and that's it. But we are a Tibetan Buddhist group, so therefore we present all of it. So then whatever you want to practice, you practice. Whatever you don't want to practice, you don't want to practice. Even you go away from here by thinking, I will never want to hear this again because this doesn't make any sense to you, it's fine. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just saying what Tibetan Buddhism is all about. This is what we're talking about. And even that I'm watering down quite a bit, because I know people can't take it if it would come straight, directly. Because we have preconceptions and how it should be and this and that. But it's good to examine. It's good to say, well, not just to throw it out like this, but it's good to say, in what way is that beneficial, in what way is it harmful? This is why I wanted to discuss also, in what way can compassion be harmful? What is the disadvantage of compassion, so that you look at both sides. Yeah. Okay, so the self-cherishing is it's not such an easy meditation. Equanimity, when you open your heart and you wish everybody to be happy, this is very easy. It's very nice. Here we have to look at the dirt, at our own selfish mind, so that's not very easy. But again, before we start, it's so important. You are not yourself cherishing. The self-cherishing comes from a mistaken thought about who and what I is. So actually what one is attacking is the wrong view of believing in a self. You see, we have two enemies. One enemy is that this I appears, because it appears when you, for example, you have to do something that you dislike. Then first is a feeling of me, I, and then behind that comes either attachment, if you want it, or it comes anger or aversion. Yeah? But first is I, because that I has decided that it should be different. Yeah? Somebody gives me food, like my mom with the chocolate. Yeah? This is like, I made, this ego, this I, made such a big story out of this chocolate. It could have been such an easy situation. Mom gives me chocolate, I don't like it, I give it to somebody else. What's the big deal? But when the I is very strong, then the emotion behind it comes like huge, and then we don't have the space anymore to examine. When I got this chocolate, I didn't have the space to examine, hey, why are you getting angry? What is going on? She's not harming you. She doesn't even demand of you that you eat the chocolate. She just gives you the chocolate. Yeah? So like this, and then it's good to, now when you have these techniques, then you can look, and you can, when strong stuff is coming out, you can look, hey, okay, first of all, who is angry? I. What is this I? Where is it? Does it exist the way that it appears? Where was it before? If it really exists, it should be always there, but where was it? So you see, we have not one eye, we actually have many eyes. An eye that comes with anger, an eye that, this is non-Buddhist talk here, because we have no eye. We only have mental states, and these mental states manifest in a certain way. And when it's a negative mental state, then the feeling of I is always very strong. When it's a positive mental state, I still know who I am, but there's no feeling of I, there's just space in the heart. This is what I mean, and this is what we start to examine. What lies behind it? What's going on? You know, who is deciding here that I should get angry, and why? Like that with the chocolate. It's so stupid. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. And very often we have moments like this, that we get angry, but then because we don't examine and we don't analyze, and our mind is so confused, we really think it's the situation out there who makes me angry, and I have every right to be angry. Isn't it? Very often. Then when the anger dies down, we go like, hey, what happened? So we'll try to pull it out, that self-cherishing mind. Okay, so if you can, then sit in with a straight back, and also with your eyes closed. Don't look at me. I am not your self-cherishing. I have enough of my own thing too. Okay, so just relax. And again, don't force yourself to do anything while you're here. Also, even these analytical meditations, if you don't want to follow what I'm saying, don't follow it. It's fine. These are just suggestions that you could think like this in order to transform the mind. It's okay. Nobody is wanting to force anything on you. Few deep breaths, happy to be alive. And assure yourself, I don't need to accept anything that is being said. I can reject everything, it's fine. And still the people who are here will still like me. I don't have to be afraid that they will dislike me. Isn't that wonderful? You're totally free. The self-cherishing creates its own prison by having very fixed views and opinions. And it spoils our life. This is what they say. That the I appears. This is okay. But then believing in that appearance is true and cherishing it, that is what is creating the problem. So again, we think about somebody who is just full of him or herself. You said something without wanting to hurt the person. But the person is hurt and gets angry. Picture that person in the space in front of you. We all know these people. You think, I haven't really done anything. They get angry at you. The self-cherishing, when it's up like this, is so stupid. You try to explain to that person. The person doesn't want to listen. They are absolutely not considered about your view, nor about your feelings. And usually that person is quite a decent person. Quite calm and quite normal. Can you see that this person is not normal when the self-cherishing is functioning? That they lose control, they're confused, they cannot listen. The self-cherishing is also the voice inside of ourselves that always comes up with, oh, if only, then I would be happy. And we believe it. And then we become unhappy if the if only is not happening. I'm sure all of us had that thought. If only school would be finished, then I would be happy, isn't it? Well, where is the happiness now? Nowhere. Then I can eat all the chocolate and the fries and the hamburgers that I want and watch TV as long as I want. Yeah, you have that freedom, but you're still not happy. Then he goes, oh, if only I had a good job, I'd be happy. Maybe you get a good job, then you see good job means a lot of responsibility. Still not the happiness that was promised. Then he goes, oh, if only I had a partner, I'd be happy. Then you get a partner. And all of a sudden he goes, oh, if only I didn't have a partner, I'd be happy. And you get a divorce. So many if-onlys in our life. And we believe them every time. The self-cherishing has no wisdom, it just kicks up like anger or desire. Makes us get out of control. It's the one who is afraid to do something really difficult, although we would know it's worthwhile. Be careful. It's the one who doesn't let you get out of bed in time in the morning. Take just 5 more minutes, as if these 5 minutes make a change. And what is the most dangerous, it forgets about the happiness of the other. It only sees one person in the world, and that is me. If somebody steals your things, they're not concerned with your happiness, they're only full of desire. I want what they have. If out of anger you try to correct somebody, you're not concerned with that other person's happiness at that moment at all. You just blurt out what you need to blurt out. And if a man rapes a woman, he's definitely not concerned with her happiness. Full of self-cherishing, not even seeing the consequences of these acts. Totally blind and out of control. Self-cherishing feels very strong, very independent. I don't need anybody. So thinking about how dependent we are on others can decrease it a little bit. For many years we depend on our parents to be appreciated, to be loved, to be fed, to be educated. Just briefly think about your teachers that you had, that they taught you the things that help you in your life now. We never think about them. Maybe you were like me, I hated them. Nobody told me how dependent I am on them in order to be able to function as a grown-up. It was a game. I'm the student, therefore I hate my teacher. I want to be independent. I don't want to do what they want me to do. Self-cherishing at its best. Making it very difficult for them to give me what I actually need. Then all the people we don't see, who provide our food, our entertainment. You know, your telephones that you love so much, these electronic gadgets. How many times we think about the people who spend many hours inventing and developing these things. Again, try not to feel bad about having self-cherishing. We all are, because we're not taught anything different. We don't see the suffering that comes with it, the loneliness, how difficult we make it for others to love us and to appreciate us, how it creates a barrier between me and them. And it's not you. It's just a mistaken view that we have about ourselves. So try to work with just that one thought. Thanks to so many others I can survive and I can be happy. Just that one. Why do I think I'm the center of the universe? Why do I take myself so seriously? I'm just one person, a tiny, tiny speck between all the others. But I'm connected to these others who grow my food, who make my clothes, who educated me, who make all these toys, be it sports, car, cycle, electronics, whatever. Music, art. Everything that makes me happy comes from others. And now, most important of all, my best moments I had is when other people allowed me to love them. Or when I felt compassion. I would not know these feelings if there were no others. So how wonderful. So when we see how dependent we are on others, maybe then we make a decision, okay, I will not take myself so seriously anymore as being the center of the universe. My happiness is not more important than other people's happiness. With that thought, you can relax immediately. Because you don't have to work so hard anymore. Because if you want to only make me, I, happy, you will never succeed. So we equalize ourselves with others first. Others' happiness is just as important as mine. They like to do something that I don't like, let them do it. As long as it's not harmful, it's okay. As long as they are happy, it's fine. And then we make another step in that direction. Actually, other people's happiness is more important than mine. And then again, just remember moments when we had this beautiful thought, when it comes automatically with your children, with your friends, with your loved ones. When you can totally forget about yourself. Give others what they need and want. It makes you so happy. Then we become non-needy. So try to see the advantage of other people's happiness first, cherishing others. It makes our heart so much bigger. Our heart is so small when it's only me, me, me. The more others you can put there, the more relaxed, the more spacious, the more open you become. So we're not even thinking in terms of karma, that every moment of self-cherishing creates a future moment of unhappiness, wanting, frustration, stress. Karmic action, creating karmic result, the intention. Every moment of when the happiness of others is more important will create future moments of happiness. The world would be such a nice place if we would start to open up our hearts towards others, no matter whether they like us or dislike us. If we could stop fighting for views, opinions, wouldn't that be wonderful? We would be so relaxed. So again, we can try it out. This thought. Think about all beings on this planet. Feel how the mind expands. It's not on you anymore. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. Really mean it while you say it. Really try to understand that thought, all beings. Allow the mind and the heart to become really big, and you will notice that we have no borders and no limits. Everybody can have a space in our heart, because the heart has no limits. And then we start to feel our nature, and are not being caught in that little me. I want or I don't want. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May I be able to contribute to that. So again, if you enjoy the food, then you think, may all beings be able to enjoy that food. If you think it's really horrible, then you go, may nobody enjoy, may nobody have to eat this horrible food. This is how you transform everything into something beneficial. And but then again, think, so many people are involved in that food, and you just look at it and you say, wow. Just for me they made that, this is what came about. And then you think, what can I do for them? See, if we think how much just today we have received through the effort of others, and how much did I do to make others happy? Not so much. So then we start to see how we're all crying out for, oh, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. We're the first ones who are not fair. Because we only look after ourselves and our people. Then we decide for a few of these, but others no. So I'm not saying, again, you should run around and help everybody, but just an open heart and being totally relaxed. And also about opinions and, I know a family, they stopped talking to each other because the brother was voting for the wrong president. And serious conflict because of that. So it's not the conflict, it's the self-cherishing who says, my president is the right one. What for? It's just suffering. And it covers our potential to be happy. This is it. But the self-cherishing is not you. This is what you have to understand. So maybe tonight we'll talk a bit more about it. It's just a mistaken view. It's that one who takes itself so seriously. I'm the center of the universe, this gut feeling. So sometimes when you feel totally overwhelmed with responsibility or things like that, you lean back and you go, hey, Who the heck you think you talk to that one in here? Who the heck you think you are? You're just one tiny, tiny, tiny speck in this universe. And you feel totally, all of a sudden, you come closer to reality and you relax. And then it's much easier to do your task. It's much easier to bear the responsibility. Also, sometimes it's good to give yourself the permission to fail. You say, whoop, if I fail, I won't be the first one, nor the last one. Self-cherishing always thinks, not me, only others. It's totally unreasonable, that thought. It's just a thought, by the way. It's just a thought, nothing more than that. And this is where the suffering comes from. Anger comes from that. I want, I don't want. This is right, this is not right. Who decides? You do. Somebody else decides that this is right? No, they are wrong. Hey! Very one-pointed view, isn't it? Very one-pointed. So one becomes more relaxed. Let other people have their views. Let them be, it's fine. It's okay, no problem. Okay. So we have dinner and then we meet again at 7:30. Thank you very much. If you can eat the food, sorry. If you can eat the food by saying, I'm going to eat this food to have a really healthy body so I can become a Buddha and benefit all sentient beings. You create so much merit by doing nothing. If that thought is genuine. Because you see, relieving the suffering of one sentient being creates merit already. Yeah, it's mitzvah. Thinking that you were going to relieve the suffering of all sentient beings, can you imagine how much merit that creates? So this is why the thought, just the thought, and the thought at the beginning maybe is not very deep, but all of a sudden, sometimes when you sit and you generate bodhicitta, say, I want to become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings, and you start to feel it. It is so noble. There is nothing that is more noble than that. I want to benefit all sentient beings without exception. Wow, that is so amazing and so beautiful. Okay, please enjoy your food. If you don't, it's not the fault of your food, it's the fault of your mind.